Yeah. Yeah, participation in semillas processes is involving different voices. No? So the participatory process is quite complex. We don't have a romantic idea of participation, and in our processes we involve different actors. Our goal is to reach common agreement and consensus, and sometimes it's a long and difficult process. However, we believe that the only way to do a sustainable and appropriate project is through cooperation. No? And we can talk about two kinds of participation. Yeah? On one hand, there is the institutional participation. So we try to involve local institutions and international institutions too. And we try to cooperate with them. No? And some of them are municipalities, local indigenous community, because we are working in the jungle of Peru with indigenous communities, Ministry of Education, Ministry of Development and Social Inclusion, and we, in this process, we listen and learn from their voices, and we look for common strategies and objective, you know. And in this search for common objective and agreements, local institutions commit themselves to support the project because they want to be part of them. And on the other hand, there is the community participation, no? Two levels of participation, institutional participation and community participation. And in community participation, well, I explained better during the conference, but community participate in all stages of the process, from the identification and research to the construction. So the process, and we think that the process don't end after the construction, but we keep observing the community and the use of the new spaces. So we work together with the community to improve the school after the end of the process, no? And in this way, we grow together to build the best school for this community, for this unique community. And this is why our role is in this participatory process is also pedagogical. So we learn from the community and we teach some of our knowledge and left something of us in the community, no? About architecture, about technologies, and it's an interchange process and learning. That's all. This is. Yeah, first of all, I think that the public or urban project, public space are social projects, no? In every context, in the jungle, in the city, in the urban context, in Berlin or in everywhere. So I believe that participatory processes could and should be applied to whole environments, you know. But unfortunately, I think that the problem is another. Projects developed by public investment, generally in urban environment, have very strict standards and limited timing, no? And in Peru, in my experience, for example, it is to often only a copy-paste project, no? And the time for architectural reflection is too short, is very short, while bureaucracy are very large, are very long, no? And in our processes, we take the time to listen, analyze, and think before designing and building. And this is especially needed in a rural community and in the indigenous context, because unfortunately the government is not present in this area, and it is necessary to develop real sense of empowerment, no, for the sustainability of the project, because the government don't exist, no, or exist in a little part or in a very not enough way, no. Yeah. So yes. In urban context too, we could and should make participatory processes, I think. Yeah. This process is complex too and have stages too. Not only the construction process, but the founding need a lot of work before the architectural stage. So at the moment, our field of interest are public spaces, schools especially, and public building. And we operate in rural area, especially in the jungle of Peru. So how we identify the community in which work? We have different stages for looking for a community, and the first stage is desk research. So we analyze statistical data such as human development index, number of students, current infrastructure status, and in addition, Ministry of Education, local municipality help us to identify the most in need communities. No? And the following step is participatory research through site visit, because we think that we need to know the site, the territory, the people. We need to speak with them to know the need. No? We visit the communities, identified in the first step, and we develop some participatory workshop to know each other and to present to the community our methodology, no? Our participatory methodology. Normally, the government develop a project without participation of the beneficiary. And in our case, it is necessary, and they are committed to participate in all the stages of the process. If they are not committed, we don't work in this community, you know, because our methodology is very very strict in this sense, because we know that in another way we don't make architecture. Yeah, once the community has been identified, we search for foundings. We write the project, we write the social profile, social proposal, and we present these to some institution, some founding institution. At the beginning it was very difficult, but today more institutions have joined us because they believe in our work, and we have alliance with various foundations and companies and universities and Italian cooperation too. such as Politecnico Milano, Universidad de Catalunya, with the Italian civil service. I don't know if in German exists this program. It is an Italian government program, and with Ucallo University, with Politecnico Milano, and Costa Foundation, World Cafe Foundation. We have some contact for founding the project. But the economic issues remain a critical point for the sustainability of our business. And unfortunately, too often we think that social projects are made for free. But I don't know, through volunteer works and in our free time, but I don't think that it's the correct way to make architecture in different contexts, because but in our case it's not this, because they are not don't made in free time. These projects are serious and need the right time and the right professionalism, no? The right competencies to make. So it's a little difficult way to do architecture, but we improve here by here. So I think this is a way to make architecture, and it's a good way because it's very nice, and I love it. Yeah. Research and design is very important for us. What we propose is a common sense design, which is inspired by the context, environment, activities that the community desire to have. I think that the concept of beauty can be very controversial, no? But I believe our project do contribute to create magical and beautiful atmosphere in the spaces, especially for the kids, and improve the community development. No? In terms of economic resources, our project cost up to 10 times less than those built by the government. So, but I always say that we don't have magic powers, and if we had to value all the work behind our project, they would be very expensive as well, you know. So, how do we manage to build beautiful buildings with limited resources? Yeah, again the question. No? First, all materials come from the surrounding, limiting transportation costs. It's a main. The comfort is achieved through local technologies, using natural light, cross ventilation, and not using complex technologies and expensive technologies. The construction details are very simple and appropriate for the context, and the building is achieved with the local handwork. And I'm sure it is cheap, more cheap than with business building construction. In this way, we contribute to the macroeconomic context too, no? Working with local resources and handwork local resources. That's all.